massive game, Carabao Cup coming up against a Premier League team. How's the squad approach this match, knowing you're up against a team that are so big in Aston Villa?
Yeah, of course, we just had the game Saturday, so all our focus has been on that, but now obviously it turns to tomorrow night, and we're all excited for tomorrow. This is what we play for. We want to play up against the best players, Premier League teams. It'll be a special occasion, and I'm sure we'll give a good account of ourselves.
How difficult is it to approach these games? I mean, in a sense, you've got nothing to lose, but the challenge is so big, isn't it? Knocking out a team, even if they're not playing a full strength team, they've still got such strength in depth, haven't they?
Yeah, of course. They're all top players. To be in a squad that's in the Premier League, you've got to be a top player, and we're going in with full of confidence. Even though we obviously got beat on the weekend, but we've been progressing really well. We all know our jobs now, and tomorrow night's an occasion and a match to really show what we can do, and I'm sure the lads will stand up to that.
And it's obviously a game where the pressure is obviously more on them, and they've had a difficult start to the season. Does that make it harder for you in a way, because obviously they're going to be more up for it with the fact that they need to get wins on the ball?
For me personally, and I'm sure most of the lads as well, I'd rather it be like that. You want to play up against the best players. They haven't probably got the results that they've wanted. But it's going to be a great match. We're going to go toe to toe with them, and that's what you want to be doing. And I'm sure we'll give them a right good game, and hopefully we can get the win and the upset.
Probably before your time, this, but quite a famous game here 20 or so years ago when Bolton got to the final, beating Aston Villa. Is that been used any in the build-up towards this game? Is there any reminders of that occasion, with the likes of the big team players, JJ Kocher and all that, back in the day?
Yeah, to be fair, not much. Only because we was on Saturday. Our main focus was on Sheffield Wednesday. So now it turns to Aston Villa. But we did a little bit of work on them this morning. But I'm sure if we're going to find out about that, it'll be through the gaffer tomorrow. Before the game. I'm sure he'll, obviously in his team talk, he'll mention that, and the great nights that they did have here. But all our focus now is literally turned on to Aston Villa today. So we haven't thought too much about the game. It's a special game for all of us. But that all starts tomorrow night.
How big is it for the fans? Because obviously this club's got a great history of former Premier League team. But a lot of the younger fans won't have ever experienced that. But to come against the Premier League team, it's great for them.
Yeah, of course. I'm sure the kids that come, they obviously haven't seen what the older people that do come to games have seen. This club was in the Premier League. I remember watching it as a kid. I used to come and watch Liverpool here sometimes against Bolton, and it's an absolutely great stadium to play at. The fans are absolutely brilliant, and these are the nights that we want back here, and that's what we're striving for now.
And to come up against Steven Gerrard, I'm guessing one of your, not heroes as such, but an iconic Premier League figure, isn't he? Is it good to sort of prove yourself to people like that as well?
Of course, yeah. I was lucky enough to train with him for about 3-4 months when I was with Liverpool first team, and he was a great player, great man, and I'm excited to play him. Obviously in front of him, and obviously growing up I was a Liverpool fan, so it's I'm excited obviously for the game, to play against top team, and obviously he's the manager, so it's a bonus.
What's he? How highly is he held in regard in Liverpool, because he's such an iconic figure over the past 20 years, isn't he, with Liverpool Football Club? How do Scousers sort of view him now, obviously into his managerial career?
Obviously he's still loved. I'm sure he'll go on to be a great manager. And hopefully one day he might come back to Liverpool and be the manager. But if you ask any young lad growing up in Liverpool who's your childhood hero, it's Gerrard. For most of them, really. Obviously he's still got Trent and stuff who play for Liverpool now, and they say Gerrard. Everyone that goes to Liverpool, obviously Gerrard's the main, reason why most players, like to go there. Obviously growing up, seeing the special things that he did, the special nights he gave to fans. So yeah, I can only speak positive of him.
Does it make it more of an occasion for you, knowing that you're coming up against your hero? I know you said you played with him, but to come up against him in this situation, does that give you the extra motivation?
I'm not too sure really. I think the game, any game for me is motivation to go out and do well. But obviously it's a Premier League club. That's the main thing, you know. Obviously you've got to be on top of your game tomorrow night, because you know it's going to be a right test for us, but I'm sure that one that we'll stand up to.
And finally, do you think you get a result?
I hope so, yeah. You know, we're confident. You know, obviously the weekend we've got something to prove. You know, obviously coming off that defeat, but you know we've been doing really well. You know, since last season really. So I'm sure, you know, we'll have a right go tomorrow night, and hopefully we'll get the result we want.